Welcome to the second ever 122nd episode of the Dex Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
Gosh, guys.
Second ever?
Yeah.
20?
We recorded a podcast 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right. I remember that.
We were gone for 2 weeks, and we didn't mean to, but we recorded a podcast 2 weeks ago just before Christmas, and it was going to be our little...
It was cute. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was actually a really... You know what? It's unfortunate. It was a really nice podcast.
Yeah, it was a good discussion, but one of the audio tracks got corrupted, and I, was stressing out about getting it done and editing it, and I got home, and I was, just trying to edit it, and it just totally, took the wind out of my sails, and I was just like, well... all right, we're just not going to do it this week. And then last week, I got so sick that we weren't able to do it. So here we are again. We're going to just kind of get back on our feet this week. It's going to be a shorter one, but next week we're going to do it nice and big and long because obviously for 2 weeks we haven't had FANSWERS. So I'm just putting out the call right now. Big time FANSWERS segment next week. So if you have been dying to ask a question or you've never thought to do it before, it's really not that scary. Based on the volume we get, it's not 100% that we're going to read yours, but I would love to hear from some new people. So send yours in for some FANSWERS next week.
Yeah, dog.
But if you're new, welcome to the Dex Podcast. This is a Pokemon podcast from the Dex channel on YouTube. We are glad to be here. We've been around for years and years. And I don't know. Hi.
It's been a lot,
Welcome.
a lot of time.
Yeah, it's really been some time.
You know what? I recently binged a long podcast, and I was thinking about the people that watch our show, and they binge the whole thing, which I find is well, one, incredible. Thank you if you've done that, but two, it's so strange because it's a news podcast. So
yeah.
So is it fun? Are we cool?
I think it's like a vibe of coming to hang out and
talking about Pokemon.
After a while, you get to know us, you get to understand our personalities a little bit.
And I guess it's kind of fun to be like, oh yeah, I remember when Gen 5 was just coming out.
Yeah, it's literally tons and tons of hours. It's literally so many hours of podcasts. So
if you've done that, thank you.
Yeah,
but I was just thinking about that recently because
So what podcast have you been?
I'm listening to The Adventure Zone. It's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying that. Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's a normal word.
Dungeons and Dragons.
But anyway,
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's a family. It's 3 brothers and their dad playing Dungeons and Dragons. They also do other podcasts, and so they're experienced podcasters, and they know how to put on a good show. You should definitely watch it, listen to it. I mean,
yeah.
And that's.
I've only caught the odd excerpt here and there, but it seems good.
It's really funny. It's so funny.
But that aside, how was your Poke 2 weeks or so?
My Poke 2 weeks or so have been pretty great, actually.
What'd you get for Christmas?
A lot of Pokemon related things.
Yeah,
I got some Pokemon. I got some Jigglypuff socks and some Charmander socks, and I got a portable charger that is
shaped like a Pikachu, and it looks good too.
It looks great. It looks great. And what else? I got a set of mugs. I got a great ball, and an ultra ball mug to match my Pokeball mug that I have. But these great and ultra ball mugs have sealable tops that make them a full circle, and then you can transport soup in them or something, and it, it's great.
I also got a Pokemon coffee mug.
Couple shirts. Couple Pokemon shirts. It was a good haul for Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, and then just the other day, she got the collector's vault, which is too cool.
Oh, the collector's vault! It is so cool. I mean, I knew it was a guide. Basically it was a guide released at GameStop that I got 50% off plus gift card from Christmas. So I got this guide, and it's not only the normal Sun and Moon guide, but it's it's a nice hardback. It's in this really pretty box, and then it also comes with concept art cards and a letter from the creators that is thank you for going on the journey to Alola.
Some of the stuff is seriously nice.
An embossed Sun and Moon pen. It's pretty nice. It's got this really cool journal too that you can just write your notes in. It's really neat. It was a really cool little pack. Oh, and it comes with a really nice really I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a stock paper that's like really
it's
high
almost,
quality.
It's like money.
It's like almost fabric.
Yeah, it's like money. Yeah,
and it's a map of Alola, so like you can iron it flat because it's folded, but you can iron it flat because it's fabricy, and you can like frame it, and it would be just beautiful. There's two sides to it though, and it's really hard for me to choose which.
It's also hard to frame something that's got a logo on it. Like just like little note to everyone. Like nobody wants to put like a beautiful piece of art with the logo on it on their wall in a picture frame.
Right. Especially if like it's in the bottom corner and it's just like Pokemon, because then like your frame won't hit it in the right zone.
Right.
But
if it was
I
a big logo in the
one
center.
Of the signs, I think one of the sides does not have a logo on it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That would be the cool side.
That is a cool
like
side.
It's one thing if you're like showcasing the logo, like, and it says it right in the middle, and it's like the focus of all the attention. Then it's
or like you incorporate it, like those maps with like the beautiful header titles or whatever on the tops.
But that's like branding. That's like pop art almost. Yeah. But like just putting it, like tossing it on there because it's like part of like legal or something. Stuff. It just sucks. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, like I got a Pokemon mug. I got a Pokemon shirt from Kelly. I got some Pokemon cards. Kelly got this awful looking.
Oh my gosh. Alex's cousin Michael gave me a bag that was stuffed with paper, and it was like a sizable bag. And I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "Don't even worry about it."
You'd expect to find maybe like a DVD in it,
or like a beanie or something of that size, And so I open it, and there's layers upon layers upon layers of tissue paper, and then finally, after much more tissue paper than needed to happen, but I was laughing increasingly with every piece. Inside was like the shittiest Landorus Therian figure of all time. It was this. It looks so bad.
It's
some sort of like little bootleg figurine, and it looks so bad. It's so funny. It's painted. I tweeted a picture of it, so you should look at that if you want. But it is so funny. And that was like one of the highlights of my Christmas, even though it's probably like 25 cents or something.
Yo, it takes a good gift giver to hit and make the big impact gift with the littlest amount of, like, it's not just like buying you an iPod.
Yeah.
Somebody knows you well.
That was because I love bad Pokemon merchandise. I have this little Lapras figurine that maybe was made by the same company because it also looks really bad. It looks like it's like almost Lapras.
It's like a single color plastic mold that was like painted in about 3 seconds by like a child in a warehouse somewhere.
Who has seen a picture of Lapras.
Yeah. It looks so bad. Funny. Like
but
3 years ago, they saw a picture of Lapras. Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. And so that was a really cool gift.
Yeah. I've been playing some Showdown.
Oh?
I've been playing some serious Showdown. We still haven't beat the game, so I can't like train my team up yet, and it's really hindering me because I need to be able to train a team so I can record the battle show that we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's backing us all up, but
we just gotta find time to like get the last couple episodes out.
Guys, it was the holidays. It's crazy. Like now that there's no holidays and we're all doing good and our wallets are not empty boys all the time now, we can like relax and do it. So we're gonna knock it out, and then I'll hopefully be able to start training in the next couple days. But everything's happening. Everything's popping off. It feels good. You know what I mean? And speaking of stuff that's happening, let's just jump right into the news!
Welcome to the news, darlings.
Maybe the best one I've ever done?
Yeah.
Great.
I was really into that.
Hell yeah.
I was about to compliment you before you even did it yourself.
Yeah. But luckily, I have no... I'm not humble at all. No humility here.
No.
Anyway... A global mission is happening now, guys. This is a call to you guys. We, as a player community, screwed the pooch last time with the Pokemon caught.
The goal was very lofty.
Yeah. It was 100 million Pokemon caught. It was a crazy goal.
It was a crazy goal.
This time they scaled it back a little, but not really that much considering how hard it is to do this. So, a global mission is what you do in the, what's it called? The Battle of the Share?
Festival Plaza.
Yeah, the Festival Plaza has a like sort of like receptionist as you go into the castle who's like, hey, what's up? Like, you want to check out like what missions are going on? And you're like, sure. You get a reward based on whether you win or lose, but you get a reward either way. So you should sign up for it. You should. And it's just to use the island scanner, which is the QR code reader sort of like thing You scan 10 a day, and then it enables you to go catch like a rare Pokemon somewhere in the game.
Yeah.
Really cool mechanic, really cool idea, right?
Yep.
But we're like way, way underneath the goal.
Are we?
I believe so. I mean, I can go check right now on the global link.
I didn't quite do it because it's only going to be going for like 2 more days or so.
It goes till the 9th, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going out Saturday. But
Which is the 7th.
yeah, so I'm logging into the global link right now just to see how this is doing. And I'm pretty sure we're just like blowing it big time, but I don't know how to log in. Oh, but you know what? My Pokemon Go account got hacked, so that's like a huge problem. But that's whatever. It's okay.
Oh, that sucks.
I can't check it. But last time I checked, we were very far below the goal again. But if you sign up, you get 434 friend, what are they called? Festival coins.
Which,
Festival
hey,
coins.
if you're trying to just get festival coins, like
434 is a lot.
Like, yeah, it takes a while to get that much.
But if we somehow pull this together, guys, listen. And this is something that we can all do together. Like, if you do it and I do it and we all do it.
Just once. I did it once so far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So many more people. Like, I mean, granted, okay, how many people listen to this podcast? Maybe like
10?
10? 20? No, it's actually pretty
1,000?
good. Pretty good amount of people listen to it.
I know, it's amazing. It's really it's very, very cool.
Tens of thousands of people, let's say.
That's amazing.
Maybe sometimes even 100,000 if we're lucky. But if you're out there, go check it out. Go log in. I know you're playing Pokemon Sun and Moon. Maybe do this 2 or 3 times in the next couple days if you can. Or if you have Sun and Moon, do them both. And just do it once. We only have to hit 1 million. And if we get it, we get 4,034 instead of 434.
Yo, that's going to level up your plaza so much.
That's so many festival coins. And you can do so many good things with festival coins. Like I dyed my pants. I dyed my pants pink.
What?
Yeah.
Very nice.
I dyed my pants pink. It looks dope. Like, check it out, guys. But that's that ends on Monday, so hurry up and do that if you haven't done it yet. But that's that. 2 new themes are also available on 3DS worldwide on the Nintendo eShop. Yeah. One is called Pokemon Adventure Partner and features the Alolan starters and the music that plays at your home in the game. And the other is Pokemon Full Power Z Moves, which features the evolved Alolan starters, Pikachu, and the Z Stones, and plays the Battle Royale music. Now, I have already purchased the Pokemon Full Power Z Moves theme.
Have you?
Yes. But I don't know if you know this about me, but it's so hard for me once I have set my theme once to do so again.
Yeah, well, the theme you have is great.
That's how I feel.
It's so great that how could you change that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, look, like I love my theme and I know how to change the theme on 3DS. But what I'm looking for is somebody who will tell me how could they bring themselves to do that? And if it helps, giving me a step-by-step list of how to get that done as well. Just to walk me through it in a like so that I'm like with you mentally the whole time.
But really, why would
you? How could you? How would one? How does you?
What is it?
I apologize if this is your first time listening to this podcast. That's a
very old joke.
That's a little old joke for us.
It's a very old joke.
But so that's that. Grab those. Legitimately, I really think they're cool.
They are cool themes.
I always like try and like get a theme that's relevant to like what I'm doing in the game.
Sure.
And so this one's been really cool. Also, speaking of the game, the second battle competition will open for registration January 19th. So that's like in 2 weeks from now, just about. And it's going to be open for registration from the 19th to 26th of January. It's called the Alola Friendly, which is a cute name for a competition.
I know.
And it's going to run for 2 days after registration is open for 7. It's going to run the 27th and the 28th. And it's a cool rule set. The rules are single battle, Alola Pokedex only, no legendaries, which I believe just means the
legendaries,
like ones you can never use, like the
the mythicals and the box
Zygardes,
legendaries,
the
that kind of
Zygardes,
stuff.
Solgaleos, and Lunalas, and others, question marks,
And others.
of the world. Ultra Beasts are allowed, no Mega Stones, and you get 50 battle points just for entering.
Yeah.
But you also get points for like doing well in this competition.
Yes, that's true. And if you want, you can go right now and download the rules on your 3DS itself and
It's
like
actually
host little friendly tournaments.
It's
to
actually
practice.
it's actually super easy to do that.
You can use the rules of the tournament. You can practice. You can go kick butt when it does happen. You can let us know about that.
Yeah,
if you
literally like you just go to your festival plaza and you just press like battle and it's like one of the options. It's like a 2-step process to getting to downloading the rules.
Right.
As long as you're, already set up with your global link and whatnot. But super cool. Also, the Pokemon Adventures manga has started its Sun and Moon arc.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
The title character is Sun, who is a Poke Ride delivery boy, which is like
So cool.
perfect. He meets up with Moon, who is a pharmacist traveling to Alola, like on a journey of some kind.
Yeah, she's just like there.
Yep. She uses a bow and arrow instead of Pokemon.
Yeah. I
Which
don't know what her deal is, but
There's
is
no way that she's not getting a Decidueye or meeting one or getting some kind of mutual friendship with the Decidueye. Otherwise, like they've messed up big time.
I really like the Pokemon Adventures manga. I've only read the Kanto and the beginning of the Johto arcs, but I really like the tone of it and it's really fun.
I keep trying to buy you the rest of them and show you them and make you read them, and you just keep being like, "No, I refuse.
That's not.
I refuse to do it. Get away from me. Don't talk to me.
Where does
Get out?
Who is this
Please.
person that you
Get
are
out!
impersonating?
Get out!" And she throws her
never done
slipper at
this.
me, and it goes into the wall. And
You
we
say
had to-
supper?
Slipper?
Oh, slipper. I don't have slippers.
It gets stuck in the wall, and I had to call a guy to come fix it.
But none
so
of that
scared.
happened. None of that
So
happened.
scared, guys.
Oh
Help.
my god.
Anyway,
Oh my god.
Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap is
Pokemon
out.
Snap.
It's out on the Wii U Virtual Console. It is only 10 buckaroonies. This is tight, but if you love this game, you probably already have it on everything. Especially like the Wii, which is like on your Wii U if you like transferred it properly already. I mean, granted, it's a lot easier to just use the gamepad. Like it's funner like to do that. Like it's
Do the gyro controls work though? Because I don't know if they do. So I need someone to tell me that, because that will make it worth $10 for me. But if it's not, then I can literally just turn on my Wii U, go to the Wii side, and play Pokemon Snap.
I guess, but here's the thing, like, don't you want to just be able to do it with the gamepad instead of having to use the Wii remote?
Like, yeah, I guess that would be fun. But like, what if there's no gyro controls, then like I've played that game hundreds of times.
Sure, I mean, yeah, but here's the thing. If you haven't, get that game.
Oh yeah, definitely get the game if you have not played it, because it's one of the best Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure it's the
spin-off
same
titles.
price on Wii anyway, so you might as well get it on the Wii U if you have a Wii U.
Right.
It is literally so good. But
it is very, very, very fun.
So, but if there is gyro controls, are you going to like buy it immediately and stream it?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tight. Great.
If there's gyro controls, I bet you I can get some really good photos.
I doubt that there is, honestly.
Yeah, I know, me too.
But, yeah. I don't know. I
Yeah.
would love to watch you like try and get some really good photos just in Pokemon Sun and Moon too. Maybe once we're free to explore the post game and stuff, you can do some.
The only thing about
the journey to
Pokefinder is
1.5 million.
I just want them to automatically save in an album so that I can see what my best shot and my highest like scored photo was like in game. That's what I want. That's what I want
That
from
is
that
weird
feature.
that that's not there. It seems like it should be, but
Yeah.
that's just yet another
I
one of those
understand.
things.
It would probably like take up a lot of space,
You could
but
just put it on
like,
the card.
At least the best one.
There's
At least
no-
like your
it wouldn't-
current best.
It would not. There's no way it would take up that much space. The resolution on the 3DS is like lower than 480p, I think, or something. Like I don't know. I just feel like there's some things that are not in that game that I'm like, what? But it seems like they just were like, oh, and let's put this in there. Okay, let's just like get it in there. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But Pokemon Snap's on Wii U. Get it if you have never played it or you have money is no object.
Pokemon Snap is delicious.
It really is like, I don't really care for the gameplay that much, like in practice, but in concept, it's like so good. And like when you play it, it's really the only like immersive Pokemon game.
You feel great.
It really feels like you're in the world of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Probably second to that is Pokken, just because it's so like well rendered.
Mm-hmm.
But like Pokemon Snap really is immersive to me
Yeah.
for some reason. Just because they feel like they're like in an environment and you're like, oh, like this is what it could be like in the wilderness, which is like not really a thing you see. Even in the anime, it's like almost nothing happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Almost nothing happens.
Not in the whole story. I just mean like when it's never just like them walking and like seeing like beautiful like Miyazaki style like detail of like Pokemon.
Sure.
Flying through the trees.
What you mean.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
But yeah, Pokemon Snap on Wii U. Also, PokemonCenter.com now has a line out called Pikachu Around the World.
Very cute.
Which I believe these are plushes, right? The Statue of Liberty Pikachu, the London Guard Pikachu, the Netherlands Pikachu, which is hilarious because they're the only one that's just like straight up the name of the country. Kung Fu Pikachu and Kabuki Pikachu. Each one is like $19.99 and they're cute.
Love them.
But also, like weirdly, they're promoting another line of plushies that's called Familiar Faces.
This made me mad when I was on the Pokemon Center website.
It seems like an old like they're just like it's like when a print on demand T-shirt like a Daily Tea place is like, hey, $5, like
Remember this one?
Yeah, hey, get a mystery shirt, like that kind of thing.
It's a line of plushies, and they're all Pokemon from Gen 5. And they're all, like, not very good-looking plushies. They all look bad. It's
from before they were like, oh, we should, like, care about this.
Yeah. It was before they started, like, making the really good quality plushies that they have now. But it's weird that they're marketing them as, like, new releases because they all look really bad. Like, I encourage you, actually, to go on and look at these.
I wonder if it's, like, a XY Evolutions kind of thing. I wonder if it's, like, here's, like, this old plushie that we used to make. Kind of, but we like made more of it because you guys love Gen 5.
I don't think so. Like, why would you make these plushies again? Is my
nostalgia question?
I think they're old releases that are pretending to be new.
You got to remember Gen 5 came out like 5 years ago now.
Yeah, but
6 years ago.
Yeah, but no, you got to just like look at these plushies though, Alex. They look bad. They look really bad.
Yo, I'm with you 100%. They do.
But
look
my favorite part about that is that the photographer that took the picture of the Cottony plushie, put it upside down on the table. And so I was looking at this Cottony for like 5 minutes, like, this looks wrong. What's wrong with this Cottony? And then I was like, its ears are upside down. The whole thing's upside down.
Oh, are these like tiny? That's what it is. That's why they look bad. They all look bad because they're like a couple inches. They're like minis.
Yeah, but they still make plushies that are that small that look much better.
Right, but what I'm saying is they're like chibied out. They're not like...
But they just don't look good.
Like, look at this Regigigas, man. He looks like messed up. Yeah. And actually, Regigigas is a Gen 4 Pokemon.
That's true. There are like a couple like other Gen.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
it says back in stock, Familiar Faces. These are like old plushies that they've like redone, or maybe they found old stock of.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of weird ones on there. So I guess you can go.
There's some gems in there. They're all pretty cheap. Like they're like $13. There is a large like detailed restaurant that looks really good.
Yeah, that one does look good.
That's like $25. But most of them seem to be like $13.
I was just so surprised that I was like looking at these, and then like the product photos, like they all look really old, and I feel like they should have.
It's probably just the same assets.
I feel like they should have retaken the photos at least because they look like old photos, and it just makes the whole website look like it's like fake.
It's not as bad as she's making it out to be. I don't think.
I'm just a snob, okay.
But it doesn't make them look good. It doesn't make them look good. But yeah, that Cottony is also super weird. Very bizarre.
It's really funny. All of the preview photos are upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it for the news. And I don't want to end the podcast here. So just real quickly, let's just jump into the discussment. I don't really know the tone that I'm going for.
I liked
with
the way
yet.
you did news better.
Yeah, I don't know what the tone is. Like, I don't know, like, ooh, is it like the discussment? Is it like?
I think it's like the discussment.
Like, I should be like, get ready for the discussment. Like that?
I mean, like, you sounded like you were about to say disgusting.
Disgusting.
I don't want you to have. I want you to discuss. I don't want you to be disgusted.
Get ready for the disgustment.
No, that you said disgust in that.
I'll work on it.
All right.
So it's 2017. We haven't done a podcast in 2017 yet. We are very like optimistic about 2017, especially in light of a year that we've all pretty much decided together was bad. I'm not in that like weird like F 2016 mode that a lot of people are in, but I'm looking for some hope in my life right now. Like I feel good about I feel like optimistic about the future right now. And at least in some ways. And like I want to know what I want to talk about what we think Pokemon needs to do in 2017 to like even heighten it more than 2016. 2016, as bad as it was in some ways, was sort of a like renaissance for Pokemon, right?
It was
like,
a good year for Pokemon.
Pokemon came back.
Pokemon
Go
came through.
Pokemon Go was like a really big deal. Like it really like even more than like just like the game itself, it like created like a cultural sort of like
Right. It kind of like put Pokemon back in public eye.
everybody was like, oh yeah, we like love Pokemon. We all grew up with it. All of us who are adults right now, like remember a time
where we loved Pokemon.
Like there was like a 2 to 3 year period where like literally we all loved it. And why don't I still love it?
Right. Exactly. Which is cool because, you know, not only has it sparked a lot of like cool conversations, but it's also like legitimized a lot of the things that Pokemon is trying to be doing with its like competitive zone. Which I'm sure we'll get into that like even more in a moment. But I think that in 2016, Pokemon took like a lot of steps to try to get a little bit more legitimized as maybe not esport, but like
they just want to seem more legit to the gamers.
Exactly. And I think that in some ways the strategies they implemented were really good. In some ways they kind of fell flat. There were definitely good and bad things that they did this year in regards to that. But I think that the trend of that is positive. And
as far as esports is concerned, in a lot of the ways that it can be considered, especially just like PR wise stuff, I think Pokemon really killed it with the competitive game this year. I really think that that's a place where they should really like focus still. I think it's like the bigger picture for Pokemon at large is to like make it so that people actually care about battling and like thinking about the game. I think that's really going to like fire up a fan base around it because, you know, fans love lore and like love to like dig into stuff once they like feel emotional attachments to it. Does that make sense? And, you know, when you watch a tournament, you can't help it. Like I remember you were watching and you saw that Muck win and you kind of like were like, yeah, Muck. Like, this is tight. Like, I'm going to get a Muck. And, like, then you're like...
And I did. I love the Muck.
You're, like, training up a Muck and, like, trying out the strats. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that's really going to do it. Though there is, like, some controversy surrounding the changes to the structure of the competitive scene this year, which I think a lot of the criticisms are valid. I think that, you know, in another way, like, in the more... You know, how do I say this? Like, Pokemon... competitive scene and Pokemon at large too is kind of like fighting two battles at once, and unfortunately like the battle that we wish they would focus on more is the one that they have to spend less time on, because they have to think about like everyone's relationship with Pokemon, like everyone in the world, and then they have to think about like their core fan base. You know what I mean?
Right.
And unlike something like, say, Street Fighter, where their core fan base is like very, very like central to the popularity of their game. You know what I mean? Like Street Fighter still sells merch and stuff, but like Pokemon sells, they have like Mickey Mouse on their hands.
Yeah, it's not even it's not so much of like an only a game thing. It's popular worldwide with all sorts of different things.
Yeah. And so, you know, a lot of the time you look at what they're doing and you're like, this doesn't make sense, but it's like, well, they're running their business and they're trying to do things that are making Pokemon the brand appealing to like more people. And so their rules this time are like, sure, like maybe in the top cut, like, you know, it's going to be a little bit unfair, like who gets featured in the tournament, but they're trying to make it so that that you can like come compete more and like that people can go around more and just like make it more visible, I guess. And so I'm not like saying that they're being smart by making the move, but I'm just trying to put you guys in the mindset of like where they're at, you know what I mean? Because to them, right, it's still a business, like above everything else, like they still have to like be successful to continue to be able to make, you know, how awesome, you know, Pokemon is awesome, but the reason it's awesome is because it's successful. And they have to remain successful in order to do this type of stuff. So I never feel angry at them when something like this happens. It's just like, well, it's unfortunate that you're not listening to the people who really care right now because of some other factor that's making you make this decision. And I think that's kind of like the big deal in 2017 is that now that, you know, we're on this track of like, we need to get Pokemon visible in the esports scene. We need to bring back general awareness of Pokemon. Now that stuff's all there, I feel like 2017 can be that year where they really focus it up, especially if Sun and Moon are coming out on the Switch.
Right.
I feel like they could really upgrade like some of the features and stuff for the game that will make it a lot better, especially the online battling and stuff like that. And like trading online should be like a lot better on a system as powerful as a PS4, you know? Just because, like, what are you doing if you're not, like, at least putting something in there? Or, like, maybe, like, we can see my quest log there. Or maybe we can see some stuff like the Pokemon Snap log. Like,
Right.
I think those types of things, like, now that they've introduced this sort of infrastructure and these, like, sort of mediums, I really want to see 2017 be the year where they really, like, hit the home run. Like, Pokemon Go, right? It's set up, right? Their install base is here. They have, like, a concept. They've sort of, like, gotten the base gameplay to a point that they want it to be at, and now 2017 hopefully is the year where they just like Pokemon are coming out constantly, there's events happening, like yada yada yada, battling, trading.
With the events that are going on right now, like I'm so in for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's what needs to happen this year. That's what I want to see. Like Pokken, right? If it comes out for Switch, like please, like let's do some more to support it. You know, like now that we have a system in place to stream Pokemon live, let's really make the effort to like make the stream look and work good. Like,
you know what I was just thinking about?
What?
I'm sorry to sidestep you, but
sure.
You know what? What if they didn't release Darkrai and Krogunk and Empoleon and Scizor on Wii U because they're saving it for the Switch and they're gonna put out like Pokken 1.5?
They're gonna. They're gonna do that. I mean, that's got to be what it is. I mean, it's gonna be like, you know, when The Witcher comes out 6 months later and all the DLCs on it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That type of stuff is like fine. Like if that's what's going on here, great. Like whatever. Like it sucks that you even put it out on the Wii U anyway, but I guess like it's probably just got caught in the limbo between like it's coming out and like, oh, the Wii U's done.
And I think they were a little tentative with Pokken too. I think that they were like, we're gonna try this, but they weren't like really like full into it. And so the people that got really into it were like, okay, well now what? Now like you're bringing us to Worlds, like great, that's awesome. And then now what?
Well, is
Pokken going to be at Worlds next year? Like, do we know?
We don't know.
Yeah, which is weird because it just I wish there was a little bit more like disclosure on Pokemon's part of what they're planning to do with Pokken, or if they plan to just like let it go.
Well, we're probably going to have a lot to talk about next week because between now and then there's a Switch event focusing on the software. But I think we're also going to get some details about when it's coming out exactly, price points, things like that. So, you know, who knows? Like, by next week, we could be like, oh my God, the new plan for Pokken is so great. Like, oh my gosh, it's free to play and like, you just buy all the characters. Like, something like that. Like
I don't know if I would like that.
Well, I mean, like how Street Fighter is or something where you like, you buy the first series or something like that. But now, I mean, I just figure like, with Street Fighter and with Killer Instinct as well, right? There's like a free-to-play version which has like no characters in it. You can play like 1 or 2 characters and like it rotates per week or whatever. But like if you buy it, then you can like play with all the characters. Like if they like make it a modern fighting game in that sense, like more like League of Legends or something like that, where there's like a base game that's free, and then like here comes Empoleon and all them, and then like all throughout the year there's like a season 2. You know what I mean? And then you buy season 2, or you buy like the 2 characters that you want. Like, that's the stuff that I want to see this year. I just want to see like, now that you've got here, let's like clean it up and like really turn up the polish. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And I think a big part of that will be Pokemon learning how to balance its business with its fan service is a bad word, but like that, like fan interaction in the community and like listening and getting that feedback. And
just like
you know, figuring out like what we want and what would actually like work very well in like the competitive scene, and things that you know, like just like partnering with people that like really like Pokemon and want to promote their stuff, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, simple things, right? Like the players are amazing right now online. You know, the commentators are amazing online right now, right? But the actual interface, while it has good points, you know, like it's really hard to, for example, it's really hard to watch trading card games because number one, you can't see what cards everyone has.
Yeah.
Like that's like a huge thing. Like I know it's probably a challenge for them, but like this is the type of stuff that it's time to like invest money in, you know what I mean? Or like, you know,
like just get
have
someone
a
to
presence.
create some sort of app, some sort of like app that'll just like show us all so we can watch along with the card games.
Or have a presence online, you know, like all the time. Like I wish there was like a ESPN style, like Sports Center style show that was just like, here's everything that's happening competitively in Pokemon right now. Like we're looking at some usage stats. We're going to look at like this tournament that happened this week over here. Here's like a spotlight on a local tournament and like back to you. Like see you next week. Like just stuff like that just brings it all together so that it doesn't feel like, you know, it's like a three-headed monster and all the heads don't talk to each other. Like we don't, it just doesn't, it's so weird that like how different like the game people feel from the competitive people, from, you know, the anime people. It just doesn't feel like one thing like it should.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting there.
And I think that that's the goal too. I really honestly think that that's what the Pokemon company as a whole wants to appear as.
Yeah. And I think that they're like doing it right. I just think that
It just
like
takes
this year
it just
was
takes
a
some
big
time.
gradual sea change, and I think it just needs to continue to focus itself. Like now that they're like, we had a successful year, it's really just not the time to like sit on a giant pile of money and then slide down it and like never, you know, like great, we'll do it again in 2 years. Like same thing. Like hopefully they really try and turn it up. And I mean, every sign points to that. I mean, like just like the features in Pokemon Sun that like, you know, are just like, hey, we're listening. Like we're trying to like make it better for like people who actually care.
Right.
And also like Pokemon Bank's coming out. We're going to find out about the Gen 1 Pokemon Bank vibes. We're going to see what that's all about.
Yeah.
We might get more Pokemon games. Like we might get like Gen 2
Oh yeah, possibly.
like this year, which would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, like
I would
think
play
that's like
that again.
I think that's like likely, you know?
Yeah.
We might get Mother 3 also, which is a totally other thing. But like how cool would that finally
Totally
be?
unrelated.
Mother 3 on Switch confirmed? Question mark. But yeah, I mean that's my whole thought. Anything else you want to say?
You know, mostly no, I think we hit it pretty well. I think that I honestly do believe that they're on the right track and that they are moving in a direction that's going to be really, really cool for Pokemon. I think that we get impatient because we like see where we think that it needs to go, but like, you know, it's really hard to move a whole company.
It's easy for us to say like they should do this.
Right. It's much harder to move a whole company to implement that change. So like I think that we're on the right track and that's just going to keep getting better and better. It would be really surprising to me if they just sat on their figurative money slide.
Right. Okay. So that's a discussment.
Yow.
But before we go, I do want to just check in because if you've never listened to the show before, at this point in the show, we usually issue an invitation to you guys like, hey, like if you guys have anything that you want to say about Pokemon and what needs to happen with Pokemon in 2017, or if you agree or you disagree with something that we've been saying, as long as you keep it respectful, please send those responses in to thedexcast@gmail.com. Again, that's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com. And we'll read those responses on next week's, just like we're going to do for this week's version of the FANSWERS segment.
FANSWERS, da 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 da. FANSWERS, da 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 da.
Yep. So we're going to just do a couple emails this week just because we don't have that many because obviously you guys haven't been sending in emails like in response to nothing. But like I said, again, just reminder, if you guys want your stuff read on the air, you know, this podcast is on iTunes, this podcast is on YouTube, but I don't ever use, you can just give me whatever name you want to give me. It can be basically anonymous. I just want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from new people.
Yeah.
It's fun. And we'll do an extra meaty FANSWERS segment next week to make up for lost time. Sound good?
Sound good.
So let's just break into this. Let's just do like a couple of these guys. Yeah, this is from Totem Pokemon Brad, beating a fainted Mudsdale. Alola, I'm not going to waste time on formalities and just get to the meat. SOS battles are like the new tell us about your mega ideas of this podcast, but I just had to throw my hat into the ring because I think the good outweighs the bad, and here's why. Cubone and Stuffle. I wanted each of these on my team, but there was a big problem I was faced with. The Marowak's line's usefulness is quite literally cut in half without the elusive thick club, and Stuffle is very rare. And to make matters worse, Stuffle's usefulness also depends on RNG when you encounter it. Its first ability is Klutz, which is like the ha 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 FU ability, while the other one is Fluffy, which halves the damage from all contact moves. Essentially, not getting a Fluffy Stuffle is substantially worse than getting an Azurill without huge power. I guess that's true. Just in case you don't know, I'm sure you know, but just in case anybody listening doesn't know, Fluffy also has the downside of taking double damage from fire type moves.
Right.
This meant that I was going to have to run around in that tall grass forever if I didn't want two useless team members. And while it did take a while, still, I only had to encounter a single Cubone or Stuffle in order to try my chances repeatedly. Otherwise, I would have had to encounter dozens upon dozens of them separately in between all the other wild Pokemon I didn't want at all. In Stuffle's case, 95% of the time, it would be those other Pokemon before I could try again for a single chance of having it Fluffy. I also wanted a male one, so trying for a male, Fluffy Stuffle would be like rolling several dice and needing them all to land on specific numbers. SOS battles essentially cut out one of these dice from the equation entirely. However, I'd be lying if I say I didn't curse violently at my 3DS a few times and the wild Pokemon wouldn't let me just run away or finish the battle. So it's in no way flawless by any means. I think all they need to do is bring back the dark grass from Gen 5 and make SOS encounters exclusive to those patches of grass. So then you know what you're getting into by choosing to walk into that grass. Yeah, okay.
That's a great idea.
Again, yet another solution that's basically just being like, make it optional so that you don't have to do it when you're playing through the game because it wastes your time.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally my only problem with it, is that it like totally messes up your momentum.
Right.
When you're trying to beat the game.
Yeah. But this is a great solution. I really think that this is like perfect.
Yeah,
this is so easy.
We're beating a fainted Mudsdale here.
I mean, there's already like those ones that charge at you. Like those ones can absolutely be SOS.
That would be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Yeah, that's why his email's called Beating a Fainted Mudsdale, by the way.
Very cute.
Yep.
I like it.
Anyways, that's my Angels Avalanche for you guys regarding SOS battles. And before Jimmy grumbles about how it's still the worst thing humanity's ever done since the Holocaust, immediately after Alex finishes reading this, unless he's not there at all, in which case, whew, dodged a bullet. Alola, Totem Pokemon Brad. P.S. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Please don't kill me. Also, Mega Beedrill. Hashtag how is it freaking now? Hashtag but for real though. Mega Beedrill got buffed. Hashtag he gets that base 145 speed in the same turn he Mega evolves. Hashtag Leech Life maybe. Hashtag Fell Stinger perhaps. Hashtag Twin Needle for sure. Hashtag Protect for never. Hashtag Hope is always. Hashtag Where's Gerard. Hashtag Weems. Bam.
That was a really good chain of hashtags.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, you did dodge a bullet because I'm sure Jimmy would grumble.
Look, I'm still like not like. I feel like everybody is writing in like with the attitude that I don't like it at all. Like I don't want it in the game.
No. I don't. I think that's false. I think that's maybe in your mind.
Well, no, people still like antagonize me about it online all the time. But I'm like, yo, like just I don't want to get rid of it. It's like, and I don't think even that Totem Pokemon Brad here is trying to like tell me I need to stop or anything like that. But it's just like I just want to clarify for everyone listening that I love the SOS mechanic. I think it's genius. I think it's like an ingenious way to solve like 1 million problems. I just don't want it to be forced on me during my single player campaign playthrough, which is like something that happens once. And then for the like other 285 hours to 385 hours that I'm going to play the game, you know what I mean? Like I will embrace it and love it. It's so simple, whatever. It's all good. I appreciate this.
That
email.
Mudsdale is so faint.
He's dead, dude.
No. Pokemon don't die, dude. Well, they do, but like not in ways that we talk about or understand ever in Pokemon.
Gary used to have a Mudsdale.
Gary didn't have a Mudsdale.
But now it's dead.
No, that was his
Pokemon
Raticate.
Tower. Game theory.
And that's a theory.
Tell someone. A game theory, that is. All right. Awful. Next email is from GT. Gen 4 question. Hey, Alex and Kellz. With the popular theory being an upcoming Diamond and Pearl remake, I decided to play Gen 4 for the first time. Yay!
Woo!
It's so odd to me that people are super critical of that generation and many claim it's the worst of the series. However, these are the same people who say Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best games of the franchise. When I ask about it directly, nobody can seem to give me a straight answer. Am I missing something? What's so bad about Diamond and Pearl? Did the remakes not count in the gen they were released in? Is there some kind of Pokemon conspiracy at play? Thanks, GT. Sorry for the long email. Hashtag no, this email was long. Hashtag, well, that's just like your opinion, man. It's not long. It's just not. I really to answer this question in my like sort of mean way, not mean, just like I have no idea what anyone's problem is with Diamond and Pearl. That's how I feel.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it. I thought maybe that it was like kind of unrememberable, but then like I remember so many things about it that
like
are really
Gen
cool.
5 is really the one that like nobody
I really
likes.
like Gen 5. I think I like Gen 5 a lot.
But I feel like it's the least like cherished. Like now?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Like right? I don't know.
Because it's all subjective. I love it. I love 5. I think 4 is like good.
What do you think the least liked generation is? By the general public. Like if we did like an actual poll, which one do you
It probably is Gen 5.
Right?
A general poll, probably. But
and then like
I don't
Gen
believe
5
in
and
that.
Gen 3 maybe, but then a lot of people like Gen 3.
No,
so
yeah, a lot of people really like
maybe
Gen
it is
3.
Gen 5 and Gen 4, but
Gen 4
maybe
and
Gen
5.
6? I don't know.
No, people love Gen 6. Gen 6 was when it started to come back
Yeah.
in the world.
Huh.
You know? It's hard. It's a hard thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with Gen 4. I think it's great. But I'm a huge fan of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I think they were like really excellent, well done remakes that were like, it was, I mean, I guess it was like the first, it was the first remake since Fire Red and Leaf Green. And so like the caliber of the remake was much different.
It was a mind blow.
It was really, really cool to see the old game that you played in black and white almost
Yeah.
in like Gen 4 graphics. That was really cool. So I preferred that one, I think, but that's also like a nostalgia factor. That's something that you like can't
Yeah, it's
override. That's just unfortunately something that plays into a lot of the consumers' minds.
Right. But I mean, if I need to, I will talk forever about all the pluses that Gen 4 has.
Yeah, Gen 4 is great. It really is a great gen, and it introduced some of the most important Pokemon mechanics that we've ever
Pokemon
had.
mechanics, but also like just like the game itself was like meaty. There was like a lot of like lore in the game, like probably more lore in that game than like any other games except maybe Gen 6.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens with Gen 7. I don't know exactly. Maybe I'm just missing something so far. Like we haven't beat the game yet, so we will see.
I'm sure there's
But
more to
I
discover.
don't know. I don't hate Gen 4. I don't think anybody truly hates it. I would love to hear if somebody does hate it, why they hate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for that email. Let's do like one or two more.
Sure.
This one is the same one that I just read, but sent again, weirdly.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. This is from Josh. How Pokemon has influenced my life thanks to you. Hey, Alex, Kelly, Jimmy, and Wallace. Feel free to say my name on the podcast if you read this. It will make my day. Josh.
Hey, Josh.
My name is Josh.
Hi, Josh.
I'm a trainer from the UK. Hi, Josh. And I've been listening to your podcast at the very beginning. I really love the show on YouTube, and your podcast is literally the best thing to listen to while revising. Thank you. Having listened to the old podcast, I remember Alex used to read emails from the UK in a hilarious and mildly offensive British accent. If you feel the urge, Alex, then indulge yourself. No, it's okay. I've gotten it out of me. I was watching a lot of Doctor Who at the time, and that show is on hiatus right now. I got into the Pokemon series as a child when I got home from a holiday abroad for Christmas. My parents had bought me Pokemon Gold. Gen 2 is the best Kellz represent. I stayed with the series and played Gen 3 too. Pokemon was a big part of my life, and it was then that I hit high school and Pokemon wasn't cool anymore. I had little to no confidence in high school, so I went with the crowd and stopped playing the games. It was only once I breached adolescence that I stopped caring about people's opinions and embraced who I am and what makes me happy. I got massively back into Pokemon and bought Heart Gold, and the reminiscing was too intense. It was actually incredible. I then played all of the games and bought Pokemon Y, which had just come out. Trying to sustain my lust for all things Pokemon, I found a YouTube channel which reviewed different Pokemon in a Pokedex style. You guys genuinely made my day, and I went from feeling alone and embarrassed to feeling like I was part of a community and a movement. It was a truly lovely experience. I wanted to thank you all, as I am now a 20-year-old guy studying to get his commercial pilot's license, and I'm the most comfortable with myself that I've ever been. As I write this email, I'm studying maneuvers of flight, having just completed the Alola Pokedex. I hope you guys continue to inspire as many people to embrace this wonderful gaming community as you've inspired me. I've attached a couple pictures for you guys. One is proof of my Pokedex completion, and the other is a shiny Skarmory, which I named in your honor. Be proud of what you've achieved and have a wonderful day. Hashtag sorry for the long email. Hashtag thanks Dexcast. Hashtag I know it wasn't that long, Alex. We good, my man. Hashtag why did Europe get screwed by Pokemon? Big love from Josh. Europe got screwed by Pokemon because they leaked the game. So here's him. Here's Josh with his headset and his pilot logbook.
Aw.
With a postcard that says "Thanks Dexcast, love Josh."
That is so cool.
There's an O in love is a Pokeball,
Very cute.
and then he's got his Pokedex 100%ed there, and his like flight. I think it's like a quiz or some type of flight notes. And then on the other page, it's a shiny Skarmory named THNX Dexcast. It's Thanks Dexcast the
Very
Skarmory.
cute. I love it.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Josh.
Very kind.
Have a cool time.
Yes.
You
too.
are cool.
The same from me.
Great. Okay. One last mystery email. Ready?
Mystery email.
Yeah. This is from Alex. Future Alex in Kellz forms. Hi, Dexcast and Pupboy Wallace. I was at a holiday party a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure I met the future forms of Alex and Kellz. They looked, acted, and spoke with the same mannerisms as both of you. It was pretty surreal. That's really all I have for this email, so if you read it on the air, sorry to all the listeners. Just wanted to say that you two will still be really cool in 30 years. Sorry for the spoiler. Hashtag laterman.
Wait, I need to know more.
What is
That's
that?
really funny.
Is that the Saw theme song?
I think it was actually, yes.
Tight.
I don't like that movie.
Dude, let's watch it.
No.
All right. Okay, guys. If you want to write in, hey, Alex, first of all, thanks for the heads up. This is exactly my favorite type of email, so don't even feel bad.
That's really funny. I wish that I could have seen them.
Yeah. But thank you so much. Guys, if you want to write in to us yourselves, and I really encourage you to because we're going to read a bunch of emails next week, please send those emails to thedexcast@gmail.com. That's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
And we will see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.